Hi everyone, my name is Chuan Shi, and this is my presentation. Our topic this week is transgender athletes and elite competition, a debate addressing the inclusion of transgender athletes in elite sports. The first part is introduction. Transitional athletes present a unique challenge to sports governing bodies. Since 2004, Olympic rules have permitted trans women to compete in athletics if they are 2 years removed from gender reassignment surgery. According to the IOC, in November 2015, in Rio Olympic Games, trans women are no longer required to undergo gender reassignment surgery to compete in female division. The role of the transgender athletes, especially trans women in sports, has been drawing increasing attention. However, there are some other ways to against transgender to play professional sports or other big events like Olympic Games. This including concerns around the possible impact on the integrity and the fairness of competition, and fears that women in particular would be even further disadvantaged within sports than they already are. My present statement is they will not have an edge over the rest of the field. The argument for inclusion will cover the following topics: testosterone and hemoglobin levels no longer than their female-born competitors, average age and gender-graded performance barely budget after people transfer their gender. Transgender athletes should have right to compete if they are good enough as athletes. Okay, this is my main body of the presentation. First of all, I want to point out the fact that Dutch study in European Journal of Endocrinology, which claim high testosterone is associated with muscle levels of muscle mass and strength, and hemoglobin is associated with the great aerobic capacity and speed. And the report also proved that trans women who within a year after gender reassignment surgery had hemoglobin and hemoglobin levels no higher than their female-born competitors. And in another research, the Michael C. Davros PhD due the research has shown that trans athletes lose any competitive advantages they might have had after hormones begin to make changes to their bodies, such as their muscle mass. And some people always say that they can get the success because they taking drug. As for transgender athletes, they are not taking testosterone to become muscle monsters. However, they are taking limited form of testosterone to match the testosterone levels if a transplanted person wins in a game in a sports event. It's not due to the fact that they are on drugs. It's due to the fact that they are hard workers and wanted to prove that they could be just as good as biologic female or male that they go up against. Okay, secondly, the majority of scientists believe that testosterone is primarily responsible for the difference in athletics results between the sexes. Transgender women who have undertaken testosterone suppression change from normal male testosterone levels to normal female levels. largely as a result of their vastly reduced testosterone levels. Transgender women lose strength, speed, and virtually every other component of athletic ability. The study, published on the Journal of Sporting Cultures, analyzes race time for eight transgender female runners who have competed in distant races as both male and female, and they're using a mathematical model called age grading. Collectively, the age grading score for these eight runners are the same in both genders. You can see the table below. Before the male and the female, they most get the same age grades. As a group, the eight study person had remarkable similar age grade scores in both male and female gender, and it's possible to state that transgender women run distance races at about the same level for their respective gender both before and after gender transition. And the last part is about the transgender athletes' rights. The IOC and most of the rest of the world governing bodies, like the NCAA, are not it. They are the ones who have done the scientific research on it, and if those organizations say that it's fine for trans athletes to compete in their choosing gender, I think it's not a big issue to dispute it. And last, transgender athletes also the people. In the case of those who have had gender reassignment, assuming that the physiological features have changed enough to be close to the new gender, they should compete with members of the new gender. On the other hand, also, it isn't fair for the trans athletes to compete against members of their former sex because they will either be at a serious advantages or disadvantages, and this will also cause lots of embarrassment for athletes involved if they cannot play in their choosing gender and they are being pushed out of the sports, and that isn't real fair on them. So, disallowing trans athletes to compete in sports which they choose is inherently discriminatory. Trans women are women. If they are excluded from the competing in women's sports, they are being discriminated against. And the next part is my conclusion. First is lots of research and studies show that male to female transexuals have a significant decrease in body condition. Second is not enough evidence to show whether or not male to female transsexuals would have athletic advantages. So I think transgenders can compete in the sports event. And the third is transgender have the right to play the gender group they choose. And last, I have some questions for you guys. First question is, do you agree with the current standard set forth by the IOC and NCAA in regards to transgender athletes? Should transgender athletes who choose not to go through surgery and or hormonal therapy still be allowed to compete? Second is, if you think there is an disadvantages for competing with transgender, what would be a fair way to allow transgender individuals to compete in sex-divided athletics? Okay, thank you for watching my presentation. And in the final, I want to say thanks to the my partner Simling and the Professor Vidic. Thank you, everybody.